Hey there, how's it going? IndieSpeak was Saturday, yesterday as I'm recording this, and I am utterly beat. My voice kinda gave out at some point yesterday from talking to so many people for so long, so if I sound a little different in this video, that's why. After recording this voiceover, I'm gonna give it a much needed rest. So IndieSpeak was awesome. There was a great turnout and the event ran extremely smoothly. A huge thanks to the Tilted Shed guys for putting on such a fun and informative event, and to all the volunteers that made the whole day run so well. With that said, the event for me was not the best, but that's entirely my fault because I overloaded myself ahead of time. A few weeks back, I thought it would be cute to have the Monkeys with Guns beta released the same day as IndieSpeak. Kind of as a thank you to all of you that watch the videos but aren't able to make it to Southern California. I also signed up to be a speaker at the event, further adding to what I had to do before the 16th. In the video where I announced this all, I talked about needing to give myself deadlines that I can't change. But in no way did I talk about keeping the deadlines reasonable, and I see now that that was a huge mistake. Because I put so much pressure on myself, the event was so stressful, it's still kind of a blur for me. I want to be clear here because I'm going to go into everything, and it may sound a bit negative. IndieSpeak was amazing, the people, the speakers, everything. My experience was a result of my own making that just happened to culminate at IndieSpeak. I want to be transparent and look into this so I can improve my planning skills for the future, so let's get into it. In the last devlog, I talked about being stressed and all the things I still had to do. Well, that stress continued to increase as the week went on. I ran into issues that I was not expecting while getting the beta ready. Most of them were just small bugs and timing issues, but they all took way more time to fix and find than I really had planned for. So I was still fixing issues and didn't get the game exported until Friday night at about 10 p.m. Not a big deal, right? The night before the event is pretty good, you might say. And I would agree if it wasn't for the fact that at this point I had to start on my slides for my talk. I had spent so much time getting the game working that my talk sat mostly unfinished. Earlier in the week I had written the first draft and recorded it for myself to listen to during the week. I thought I was good and I would just have to get some slides together. Yeah. I underestimated that quite a bit. To make a long night into a short story, I finished my slides at 5 a.m. Looking at the time, if I wanted to get at least a couple of hours of sleep, I had to do it right then, meaning that I never got to practice my talk with my slides, and I had rewritten a bunch of it while putting the slides together. I hoped I would be able to take about 45 minutes and run through it at least once in the morning. Instead, the morning was spent getting ready and realizing that some of my cables were missing while I was packing up, so I had to run to the store to get replacements. With the doors at IndieSpeak opening at 10:45, I arrived at 10:15 in full panic mode. I quickly jumped onto Itch and set the beta builds live, and then I had to set up my booth. I have anxiety that I've found many ways to manage over the years. But when it comes to something that I have to do that I've never done before, it comes out in full force. Writing this the next day with a much clearer head, I realize now that I was pretty much having an anxiety attack from Friday until after my talk on Saturday. Look at these eyes. These are the eyes that answered, "I'm fine," when all of my friends were asking if I was alright. It's funny now, I genuinely thought I was pulling it off though. The indie game dev community is really amazing. Everyone was super supportive and helped me in any way they could. I set up and everything was going great. I had hoped to get some time at the event to sneak away and practice my talk. Nope, I had so many people coming by to play Monkeys with Guns that I never really got to. To add to the stress and my reason for not wanting to walk away from my booth for too long was for the first time ever while demoing Monkeys with Guns, a bug showed up that required a full reload of the game to fix. If you downloaded the beta 2.4, this may happen to you as well, and I'm really sorry. I still haven't figured out what the cause is, but when I do, I will post an update right away. For some reason, sometimes when finishing a round, the transition begins to go to the stats screen. The screen goes black as normal, but then never comes back. For a while, it was consistently happening when there was only 3 players in the game, but it was fine with 2 or 4. Cool, I can work with that. Then, for no apparent reason, it started happening with 2 players only, but 3 and 4 were fine. And it just kind of bounced back and forth like that for the whole day. I haven't dived in to figure it out yet, so I still have no clue what the problem is. I'll update in a future devlog when I know for sure. So that added to my already overly stressed out state. Then, all of a sudden, it was time to speak. It wasn't awful. I got through it for the most part, but kept getting ahead of my slides and ended up repeating myself unnecessarily a few times. At least twice, I flat out got lost, and for a few seconds had no clue where I was in my script or what I was talking about. I had the script in the notes section of Google Slides right in front of me, so I was able to recover. But it added to my panic and caused me to just keep getting myself more out of sync with my slides. I make it sound horrible, but everyone assured me it wasn't as bad as I think. I had several people come up to me after and tell me they really enjoyed the talk and learned something from it. But for myself, I'm not very happy because I know I was unprepared, and I didn't present everything as clearly as I would have liked to. I want to take the talk and tweak it into a video essay in the future, so I won't go too much into details on it right now. But hopefully in the future, there'll be something coming out for it. Once I got off the stage and had a few minutes to breathe, I could feel the amount of anxiety that I had held for the last few days slowly fading away. Not all, of course, but enough to not look like this all the time. I am really happy I did it, but I'm a bit frustrated that I can't take any great learnings away from it other than I need to prepare more, which I could have told myself way ahead of time. But I did do it, and if I give a talk in the future, I at least will have a lot less anxiety because, for some reason, whenever I've done something once, I'm able to do it again with a lot more ease in the future. It'll be a lot easier because I should hopefully stress out a lot less, and I definitely won't overload myself along with the talk. So overall, IndieSpeak was a great time. I got to hang out with friends, meet and talk with a lot of awesome people, and get great feedback from those who played my game. I learned a valuable lesson about managing deadlines. Turns out scope creep can happen in real life as well. I'll touch on more learnings as I have more time to process everything in the future. But for now, thank you for watching, and hopefully it didn't come off as too negative because it wasn't a negative experience in any way. I just like digging in and analyzing to see what I can do better for myself in the future. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them below or message me on Twitter. If you want to download the beta, it's up right now on vimlark.itch.io, but there may be a bug that locks up the game every now and then. I am sorry about that. This is happening with beta version 2.4. If you're watching this in the future and that version number is different, then it should hopefully be fixed. I will try to get that all sorted out as soon as I can. Thank you for your patience. If you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing and liking. I'm going to get some much needed rest, and I will talk to you next time. Later.